Brown. He's with hornsdigest.com. He's also on the radio. He's a big deal out there in Austin, 1300 AM, The Zone. And he's with us here on CBS Sports Radio, Tiki and Tierney. So, Chip, from the outside looking in, this seems incredibly dire because it's so early in the season. What is going on?
Well, the issues with Steve Patterson have been going on for a while, and I think that this is an expensive move for Texas because he had a 5-year guaranteed deal at $1.4 million per year. But I think when it was all said and done, Steve Patterson has a pro sports mindset. He's been in the front office of the Houston Rockets, the Houston Texans. He was the former president and GM of the Portland Trailblazers. And he's used to operating in a private environment, not a public university that is beloved, by hundreds of thousands of alums who need to feel like they're important, because I think they felt like Steve Patterson treated them like faceless customers, going to some pro sporting event. It was not working. Donors were blowing up the president's phone saying, "I'm done giving." And once that started happening, the president, new president, Greg Fenves, he took over in June, said, "You know what? I'm not having this." And so the Regents and UT President Greg Fenves last night had a conference call and resolved to end the tenure of athletic director Steve Patterson.
Yeah, the president seems to know where his bread is buttered, and that's a smart way to go. Who's the likely replacement in the short term and in the long term?
You know what? The short term, they are talking to former Texas football player Mike Perrin, who universally liked and respected, and then on a long term basis, I don't know if I'm hustling to get all the information on that, but they'll go Mike Perrin, I believe, in the short term, and then we'll see.
Interesting. Chip Brown, Horns Digest, is on the air as well. Does a show in Austin, 1300 AM, The Zone.
Chip, we saw in week one the blowout at Notre Dame, and we wondered when this first happened, and obviously it's more about, how the alumni are being treated than the on-field performance of Charlie Strong. But getting blown out by Notre Dame, they rebound nicely against Rice. This isn't going to have an impact on the football program and Charlie Strong, is it?
No, and I was told when Charlie Strong was hired that he would have 3 years to, get this thing moving in the right direction, and Steve Patterson might only have 2. So I said last week that I felt like Charlie Strong had more job security than Steve Patterson, and now we're seeing that is absolutely the case. I think there's a lot of support for Charlie in the administration. They know that he inherited a tough situation at quarterback, and I think we saw the move to Gerard Hurd at quarterback against Rice is going to be something that has a chance to grow and lead this team in a new direction. You have to have the quarterback situation right, and it appears with Gerard Hurd that they have a chance to move in that direction.
Well, let's face it, Chip. If you want to win at Texas, you got to recruit Texas and go to any high school, and there's probably a 5-star kid waiting for you. The inroads on the recruiting trail, how's Strong doing with that? Is he okay?
Yeah, I mean, Malik Jefferson, everybody saw, number 46, the linebacker who's making plays all over the field, true freshman, number 1 player in the state. Charlie got him. That was a top 10 class and maybe the best defensive class in the country last year, and already committed for 16. He's got the number 1 quarterback in the state of Texas, Shane Buechele, the son of former Rangers.
Sounds like Bobby Boucher. Sounds like Shane Buechele, Bobby Boucher.
Right, and 4 of the top receivers in the country. So I think I think Charlie's moving in the right direction.
Nice.
Would the alumni how much is Red McCombs involved in this, and would Mac Brown or Oliver Luck be part of this discussion? Because that's what we're starting to hear trickle out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think Mac Brown would be a long-term solution. I think they want a really seasoned athletic director, which would, possibly, Oliver Luck was was right there. I mean, it was Steve Patterson and Oliver Luck, and Oliver went to UT Law School. He's obviously in that key position in Indianapolis with the NCAA. Time will tell, but if Texas, shows him the love and throws him a bunch of money, maybe they could say, hey, you know what? We hired the wrong guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, that's going to be determined at some point, but right now the future, at least the present's a little murky. That's the future. Hopefully the way you lay out the recruiting trail, it looks like it's actually very promising. Chip, appreciate it, buddy. Have a good show, man. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
There you
Take
go.
care, Chip.
Chip Brown, HornsDigest.com.
Yeah, you forget.